Hey, Super Duper Gamer here, and today I'm playing Robinson Crusoe, Adventures on the Cursed Island. This is a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players, where you work together to explore the island, find food, build a camp, and generally just try to survive. It's scenario based, so there's some different scenarios with real goals you have to complete to win the game. So the object of the game changes based on which scenario you're playing. I'll be playing it, as always, solo. The game rules as written are sort of designed for 3 or 4 players, and if you want to play 2-player or solo, there's some extra little variants they throw in to help you do that. Alright, let's play. Alright, let's go over what we got on the table here before we start playing. As you can see, there are plenty of tokens and markers that come with this game. Here in the main board, the thing that's most featured here is the map of the island. We've got our starting tile here on the beach, and we'll be exploring the rest of the island as the game progresses. Here's the event deck where terrible things happen to you every day. Over here you've got 9 plus 5, 14 invention cards. There's 9 that are always in, and then 5 random ones that are drawn, so that helps keep the game fresh, is the 5 random inventions every game. Down here, these are the adventure decks, so sometimes when you're building, gathering resources, or exploring the island, you'll have an extra little adventure your character goes on, and these sort of have story elements and consequences that you get from there. Here you've got my character board. I'll be playing as the Explorer. I've got some special abilities and a health track. Over here you've got the scenario card, Castaways. This is the scenario 1, and the rulebook states that it's the easiest scenario and the one that you should start with. You've got a really nice round summary card here to help you along. And if you're playing 2-player, you get to add Friday, and if you're playing solo, you get to add the dog as extra little support characters. Here you've got the Beast deck. As we explore the island, we'll run into beasts, and these will get added into the Hunt deck. And you've got a stack of unexplored tiles that will get added to the island as we go out. And every game you also get 2 starting items. Here I've randomly chosen to start with the biscuits and the hammer and nails, which will help us along. So game flow wise, you've got a track here that shows you what's going on. First you do the event phase where you draw an event card. Next the morale phase where you get rewards or consequences based on whether your morale is good or bad. Third, you've got the production phase where the tile you're on may produce wood and or food. And then the action phase, this is where most of the game happens, and I'll go over shortly what all those are. The weather phase, where your characters just get destroyed for being out on the island. And then the night phase, where you have to feed all your characters and make sure they have proper shelter for the night. So the actions, phase 4. This is split up into 2 parts. First, planning, and second, execution. So during planning, everyone puts out their action tokens all over the board, and you can move them around. You don't do it in a certain order. Everyone kind of does it all together as a group. And once they're all out, you would move into execution. So the different actions you can take are here. There's threat actions, where you can put your character tokens here to get rid of a threat card. Next we have hunting. So once you have beasts here in the hunt deck, you'll be able to fight those for rewards. And then building is the brown action here. So there's a bunch of things you can build. You can build any of the inventions if you've met the requirements, and you'll see how that happens as we play. You can also build a shelter, you can build a roof or palisades around your camp, or you can increase your weapon level. Gathering, this is how you get extra food and wood. And then exploring, this is how you increase the amount of tiles on the island for you to move around on. Here, arrange camp, this is how you can get extra determination tokens and increase your morale. And then the rest action to heal wounds. So if you check our scenario card here, you'll see the goal of this scenario is to build the wood pile. It needs to have 5 layers built by round 12 so that the boat that's passing by will see us and come rescue us. So building the wood pile is totally unique to this scenario, so are the hatchet and mast items down here. If you're playing any other scenario, the goal is different. You don't have a wood pile and you don't have these items, so that adds some good variety to the game. Alright, so step 1 is the event phase, but during the first round you actually skip the event phase. That's because we've got a starting event already out. This is called food crates. So usually during the event phase you apply the effects on the top half of the card first, and then down here this is the threat effect right here. It says nothing happens. So as the rounds progress and we draw more event cards, this gets moved over and then pushed off, and when it gets pushed off, that's when the threat effect triggers. But in this case there is no threat effect, so it's alright if it gets pushed off. But we can still get rid of it by using 1 or 2 workers to gain 1 food, or 1 food and 1 non-perishable food, and you'll see what that means when I do it. So that was the event phase. Morale, you check the morale track, it's at 0. Now actually in the solo rules, it says that at the beginning of the morale phase, I get to increase morale by 1 because I'm just happy to be alive out here all by myself. It seems like I should be dead already. So I'm going to increase morale, and now I'm up here where my reward for my morale is 1 determination token. So I'm going to take that and place it on my character board. Our next up is the production phase. So you look at the tile that your camp token is on and see if it's producing any wood or food. And this tile, this starting tile is, and you'll have this starting tile out too. This is the one you start on. So it's producing a wood and a food. So I take that and put it here. This is called the available resources box. Now you notice also right here in the middle, there's this picture of a beach. That means this is a beach terrain type, and different terrain types are required for different inventions. There's one that requires the beach. This card here, the shovel, you see at the top, it's got the picture of the beach. Now, we have explored a beach terrain, so we're going to go ahead and cover up this beach symbol, indicating that that requirement has been met. So now I can build this shovel. And there's no resource cost to build it, other than just having explored the beach. Down here, you'll see other items that actually have a resource cost. Here, you have to have already invented the rope, and you have to pay 2 wood in order to invent the raft item. But here all we need to do is have it explored a beach, and that's the case because that's the tile we started on. So the shovel is available for inventing if we decide to do that. Alright, so that was the production phase anyway. The action phase, now we get to decide what actions we want to do. So every character has 2 character pawns, and those can be placed on one of the actions. Friday can be placed on any action. The dog, however, can only be a supporting pawn, and it can only be used for the explore or the hunt action. I'm definitely not hunting because there's nothing in the hunt deck yet. Alright, so now we need to assign our pawns on actions. So a little planning here. If you look at the scenario, the 2 items here, the hatchet and the mast, these are going to be very useful. I definitely want to build these. So the hatchet requires mountain terrain to be explored, and the mast requires a rope. So I don't have either of those yet. So exploring mountain terrain is just going to be a matter of moving into the island further. And then the rope over here is an item that I can invent, but first I have to discover or explore a plains type terrain. So it looks like I need to go exploring in order to start working on those. The other thing I need is I need food every night, and I have 1 banana here, so I'm all set on that because I only have 1 character that needs to eat. And the other thing I need is a shelter, so I don't have to sleep out in the open. I do not have a natural shelter here on the beach, and I cannot build a shelter because it costs 2 wood or 1 fur, which I don't have. So I can't build a shelter yet. What I could do is explore, and then hopefully I find a natural shelter that I can move my camp to so that I don't have to sleep out in the open tonight. So I'm going to actually spend this turn exploring. I'm going to explore with everybody. Now Friday can do an explore action. The dog, however, can only be support, and he can support Friday or me, but he can only support on explore or hunt actions. So I'm going to have him support me on this one right here, which means that this one is successful. Alright, so now that we're done planning, we've got all our pawns put out on what they're going to do. Now we resolve the actions. So threat, no one went here because I don't need the food that you get from this yet, because I already have food. No one went here because there's no beasts to hunt. No one's building anything because the shovel is probably the only thing I can build right now. Oh, I could have increased my weapon level because that only costs 1 wood, but I'm not doing that. Gather resources, no one's gathering resources. I cannot gather these resources because they've already been used up during the production phase because my camp tile is here. The gather resources action is really for getting resources off tiles adjacent to your camp. And then explore. Now we do the explore. All right, so we can resolve these in whatever order we want within the explore action group. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one first because it's easy, it's automatically successful. So I get a new tile. And we've explored a mountain terrain, so we get to mark that off. We also get 1 discovery token, and here you see a totem image. So the totems, if you look at your scenario sheet, it'll tell you what to do. Here on Castaways, we have no effect for the totems. All right, the discovery token means take the first token off your mixed discovery tokens. All right, so here we found a goat. If weapon level is at least 1, I can trade in this token for 1 fur and 1 food. So that'll come in handy, but it goes here in the future resources. So if I had a weapon level right now, I couldn't kill that goat yet, not until it gets moved into available resources, which happens at the end of the action space. All right, and that's it for that one. You'll see this tile is producing 1 food and 1 wood, but there is no natural shelter there. So let's go ahead and resolve this one next with Friday. So it's only 1 pawn, so he has to roll the dice. All right, now he got a question mark. Usually that would mean you have to do an adventure card, but with Friday, it actually just means he gets a wound. This die that's blank, it's either a wound or blank, and it's blank, so he doesn't get a wound for that one. And this one here means success. The other option would be to roll this, which gives you 2 determination tokens. But he rolled a success. So we're going to draw another tile and put it here. And it's the plains type. So now we've got mountain and plains. We can put markers out here to remind ourselves that we have explored the mountains and plains terrains type so that the requirements for these items have been met and they can now be built. All right, and there's another discovery token. Let's see what we get here. Now this is a special one. This is neat too. This is scenario specific. So you look at your scenario card and you'll see that this is called the Medallion of a Lady and it gives me 3 determination tokens. But when you're playing a different scenario, it'll do something totally different. So I really like how they were able to add the variability to the game like that by using symbols that you have to match to your scenario sheet, so the same symbol will do different things based on what scenario you're playing. All right, and then I'll explore up here, and let's see what we get here. Success, no wound, but we have to go on an adventure. So you take the card off the adventure deck for the explore action. Thorny bush. You got scratched by thorny bushes, your arm burns. Put the special wound on your character's arm, shuffle into the event deck. And then later, when this comes up, we'll have to do the bottom half of this card. So we take a special wound token and place it on our character sheet on the guy's arm. And then we shuffle this into the event deck. There we go. And we were successful with this explore. So we get to put a tile here, another mountains. This one does have a natural shelter and a discovery token. So we get another discovery token. Herbs. This one, if we have the pot item, we can increase morale. All right, and that's it. So that's the end of the action phase. So at the end of the action phase, all the future resources get moved into available resources. Next is the weather phase. However, during the first 3 rounds, we have no weather for this scenario. And then the night phase. So first, we can move the camp to an adjacent island tile. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do that and move up here so we get this natural shelter. All right, next up, players must discard 1 food or get 2 wounds. So we have 1 food, we can discard that. So our explorer has eaten. This is good because otherwise he would get 2 wounds, which is pretty brutal. As soon as any one character dies, you've lost the game. All right, next up, if you do not have shelter, each player gets 1 wound, but we do have a shelter, so we're clear there. And then discard all remaining food. Okay, next round, make sure you move your round marker on your scenario sheet, and then you draw an event. Unusually cold night. It was a freezing cold night. You had to heat the camp. Discard 2 wood or each player gets a wound. All right, now look, it's got this book icon here. When that happens, you look at your scenario sheet and see what the book icon does. In Castaways, no effect. But be ready for that to do some terrible things in the other scenarios. Alright, so after you draw an event, it goes down here in the threat box and it pushes over whatever was already there and it goes here. Now when the next one comes out, this one will fall off. And now this one says nothing happens. But when this one falls off, it's got the threat effect down here that says each player gets 1 wound. And in order to make it so this doesn't fall off and this effect doesn't trigger, you have to place a worker and 1 wood or 1 fur here, and then you get to discard this card and get a determination token. So that's what you can do to avoid this effect at the bottom. But right now, during this event phase, we still have to do the effect on top, which is discard 2 wood or each player gets a wound. Well, I only have 1 wood, so I guess I'm getting a wound. Okay, and then morale, since I'm solo, I get to increase it automatically. I get 2 determination tokens for where it's at now, which gives me 3. These determination tokens can be used for my special abilities down here. As the explorer, I can use these to reroll a green die, or to select an island tile, or increase morale, or get a discovery token. Okay, and then the production phase, you'll notice since we're here, we don't get any food, we just get 1 wood. Alright, now, I was getting food out here, I could have gotten food on either of these. I went here for the natural shelter, and I do have food over here because my starting item was biscuits, and so I might end up having to use that. Right now, I'm trying to get a shelter built, and then I'll move my camp off to an island tile that has food, so that I can get food every round, because I'm going to be needing that. Okay, that was production. So now, actions. So, at the beginning of the action phase, I can put wood on the wood pile. But I can only put wood on 1 stage at a time. So the first stage only takes 1 wood. So the maximum amount of wood I can put on there right now is 1. If, say, later I have 4 wood, but I haven't done anything on the wood pile yet, I would only be able to put on 1 wood. So I definitely want to start getting these lower levels of the wood pile knocked out. So I'm going to go ahead and put a wood there. So stage 1 of the wood pile is done. To win this scenario, I have to build the wood pile and also invent fire to light the wood pile. Alright, so now action planning. I want to build the rope so that I can build the mast. I also want to build the map so that I can build my shortcut, which will help me gather more wood. But in order to get the map, I need a river. So I also want to explore. Alright, so that's all the stuff I've kind of got going on right now. So I'm going to use one of my explorer guys to build the shelter. Or maybe I should use both of them. Oh no, it costs 2 wood. I only have 1 wood. I can't even do that. Never mind. Alright, I'm going to have Friday gather food from over here. And I'm going to go exploring with the dog. And I'm also going to build the rope. Alright, so that's all set. Actually, he's not going to gather. He's going to go right here and get food. That way he doesn't have to roll the dice. Alright, so first threat action. This is successful. I only put 1 worker here, so all I do is get 1 food and discard this card. So that'll go in the future resources, and that's done. Next hunt, not happening. Build, yeah, I'm trying to build the rope. I only got 1 pawn there, so I have to roll for it. Successful, I take a wound, no adventure. Alright, so increase my wounds. I built the rope. That was the only build. Gather resources, not happening. Explore, yep, but it's automatically successful because I took the dog with me. And let's see what we got. Hills. And we found a beast, so we'll add a beast to the hunt deck. And we got 2 discovery tokens. We got throw bushes, which increases your palisades by 1. Thorn bushes. And also poison, where if you have the pot, you can trade this in to increase your weapon level by 2. So again, future resources. But that's it. That's all the actions. So now all the future resources get added to available resources. It looks like we need to build a pot, because now we've got 2 things that we could use for the pot. Increase palisades by 1. I could do that because I have a natural shelter, but what would happen is if I moved my camp, I would lose it because the natural shelter doesn't go with me. So if I can get this shelter built, then I'll use that increased palisades. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of save it. Okay, weather, round 2, again, no weather. Night phase, we can move to camp. Do we want to? Yeah, I think we should, and then I'll build a shelter. Oh yeah, don't forget to mark off the hills requirements on your inventions to indicate that you can build those. Now the pot needed hills, so that's good. Now we can build the pot and start using those discovery tokens that require it. Now everyone has to eat. I have 1 food and 1 character, so we ate, but we don't have any shelter. So since we don't have any shelter, every character takes 1 wound. It's just my explorer, he gets 1 wound. And that's it. So round 3, draw an event. Predator in the woods. Going outside the camp is getting more and more dangerous every day. Green question mark. I'll show you what that means in a second. Alright, put greater danger in the explore action space. During the next explore action, you get a wound unless your weapon level is at least 1. Okay, so we'll do that. And what the green question mark means is that we put this token here. And that means next time you do an explore action, whether or not you roll the dice, you have to do an adventure. And also, we got to put greater danger over there and do what it says. And let's see what our threat is down here. Searching for a predator. It's going to take 1 worker and at least a weapon level of 1 to get 1 determination token and discard the greater danger and discard this card. If we don't do that, then each player gets a wound when this falls off. Alright, so that goes there. Okay, we need a weapon level. And we need to do this too. I wanted to build, I might have to not do this because I need that wood to build my shelter. Alright, that's fine. I think I'd rather have the shelter and take the wound. That's what we're going to do. Alright, don't forget the greater danger. So we need weapon level, we need to increase our weapon level so that we can search for the predator. Alright, morale, again, increase it, and then here I have the option to either get 2 determination or heal a wound. I'm definitely going to heal a wound because I have 3 determination tokens and I also have this medallion of the lady which could give me 3 determination tokens whenever I want. So I heal a wound for morale. Now the production, we get a wood and a food because of where our camp is at. So moving into actions. We have 2 wood, we could place this on the wood pile, but we're not going to because we want to use that wood to build the shelter. Here's the cost of building the shelter, roof, or palisades. It varies based on 2, 3, or 4 players. For solo, you use the 1 for 2 players. And then weapon level just costs 1 wood no matter how many players you have. So I'm going to build, and I think I'm going to take Friday with me to make sure it's successful. I'm going to build a shelter. And so when you require resources to do an action like this, you go ahead and take those and put them on your pawns to make sure that you're not overextending yourself and trying to use more resources than you have when you have a lot of more players and more actions going on. Alright, so there's that. Now all I have left is 1 explorer and a dog. I'm still looking for a river so that I can build this map, so that I can build this shortcut, so that I can start producing wood from an adjacent tile. That's what the shortcut lets me do. So I could try to find a river. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go exploring, and the dog will go with me to make it automatically successful. But I was supposed to increase my weapon level too, remember? Oh man. Alright. I guess we're not doing that. Here we go. Threat, not doing it. Hunt, no. Build, yes. We're trying to build that. It's automatically successful. So the wood you used gets returned to the stack. Friday and me over here, and now to mark our shelter, we put this here and we actually flip our camp token so that you can see we have a shelter. Okay, we're not gathering. Explorer, we are exploring. So since I did an explore action and my weapon level is not at least 1, I get a wound because of the greater danger. So I take a wound. I don't have to roll the dice because I use 2 pawns, but I do draw an adventure anyway. So we draw an adventure, and it says, Remains of a settlement. Deep in the forest, you discover a ruined settlement. Decide. Discard this card or draw 3 mystery cards. Only resolve 1 trap and 2 treasures and shuffle into the event deck. And then when it comes up, each player has to get a wound. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. 3 mystery cards, 1 trap and 2 treasure. Now the thing with that is, if I draw 2 treasures first, I don't have to draw any traps. Or if I draw 1 trap, I get to keep drawing until eventually I get 2 treasures, and it doesn't matter if if I happen to draw more traps before that happens, I don't have to resolve them. So, this is the mystery deck. First card is a treasure. We got the whip. You stumble upon a skeleton of a man in a fedora. He has something in his hand. +1 weapon level. That would have come in handy earlier. Alright, keep this card. Starting next round, whenever a player draws mystery cards where a trap must be resolved, the effect of one trap can be ignored. It still counts as resolved. Alright, so it said starting next round, so if I draw a trap, I still have to resolve it. I got another treasure. Okay, old clothes. A little smelly, but they still work. Keep this card. From now on, one snow cloud turns into a rain cloud. Okay, that'll come in handy when we start doing weather later. So make sure, and now I can stop. I don't have to keep going because I already found all my treasure. There's no reason to keep exploring until I fall into a trap. And we do have a successful explore. It's another hills. Alright. And 1 discovery token. It's a wood. Alright, so that's it for, yep, all our pawns are back. So this wood, I'll go ahead and turn that into a wood right now. And we have a shelter, so I'll go ahead and increase our palisades also. So now we have a palisade level of 1, a weapon level of 1, and a roof level of 0. But we're getting weather starting next round, so I'm gonna want to build a roof. Really am. Alright, weather, but for round 3 that we're on right now, no weather, okay? Night phase, do I want to move the camp? I actually really like where I am, it's just that hopefully I can draw a river tile for here. And actually, I'll be using the Explorer's ability to try to make sure that happens. So we should be good with the camp where it's at. And then everyone has to eat. I eat. And then do we have shelter? Yes, we do. Okay, so moving on to round 4. Now notice on here, round 4, we will be rolling the orange weather die for 4, 5, and 6, and then all 3 weather die for rounds 7 through 12. And what's going to help keep us safe in the rain is this roof. We really need to start working on our roof level. But don't forget, we also need to build this wood pile, which we only have 1 piece of wood on yet. And it's going to really help if we can build the hatchet, because that'll give us an extra wood during production for where our camp's at. And if we can build the shortcut, because then we'll be able to produce wood from an adjacent tile too. So we need to start doing that, but we also need the roof, and we also need to increase our weapon level so that we can kill this beast. We got a lot of stuff to do. Alright, let's just start with the next event. Flood. Water enters the camp and washes things away. Turn 1 item face up to the invention side, or -1 weapon level, or -1 palisades, or each player gets 1 wound. I'm just going to take the wound. Okay, and then this goes here, and it pushes everything over, and we got this green adventure again, and now this falls off, so the threat action happens. Each player gets a wound. So I get a wound, and I cross this arrow, which means morale goes down, but that's fine. In the solo game, that's really fine. Okay, now morale, since I'm solo, I'm alive, I'm excited, I get to increase it, I get to select again 2 determination or heal a wound. I'm going to go ahead and heal a wound. And production, I get a wood and a food. Alright, so I've got 2 wood to work with. We'll see. Maybe I'll build the hatchet. We'll see. Okay, right now, because we're in the action phase, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 3 determination tokens. No, I'm going to spend 2 to draw 3 island tiles. Choose 1. Shuffle the other 2 back in and put the one I chose on top. So I draw 3. Alright, plains was going to be next. I'm going to take this river tile and put it on top. So I'm going to shuffle these other 2 back into the deck here, and I'm going to put this river one right on top. So now I know I'll get the river, I can build the map, I can build the shortcut, I can start making more wood. Alright, I still have 1 determination. I can get more. So really, the Explorer has this ability that lets me re-roll a green die, but I'm not rolling the green dice too often because I've got the dog, which can help me with exploring. So it makes... Alright, so now all I have to do is explore here, and it's an island, or a river, and then I'm done exploring, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna stay set. Because what happens is once you start building up, if you have roof level 2 and you move your camp, you have to cut your roof and palisade levels in half. So you would drop to roof level 1 just for moving your camp. So once you get your camp like where you want it, you got to find a good spot for it and keep it there and just start beefing it up where it's at. So that's what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to enter river here, so I'm going to keep my camp here, and I've got 2 resources on my camp tile, and I've got a lot of adjacent resources. So we're good to go. And so explore, I'm going to send Friday with the dog to go explore that for me. And then I really want to build a roof. Now it takes 2 wood. Should I put just 1 guy there or 2 guys and guarantee success? I am hitting weather tonight. I know that for a fact. So I also have to build fire. So I'm going to try to build fire and roof. Alright, we're going to do that. Oh, I need the pot too though. I'm going to try to build the pot instead, because that +2 weapon level will come in handy a lot sooner. I don't need the fire till the end. I also really need to build the hatchet, but we'll do that when we get some wood next round. Okay, so threat, no. Hunt, no. Build, yes. I'm going to roll for the roof first. So here I am rolling for the roof. It's successful. I get a wound. Morale goes down. And I go on an adventure. Unmotivated. Due to you being hurt, tired, and irritated, construction is going very slowly. Discard 1 determination or get 1 wound. Shuffle into the event deck. And then when it pops up, I have to discard a determination. So what happens is if you don't have a determination when it says you have to discard 1, you get a wound. Right now, I do have a determination. I'm going to go ahead and discard that and shuffle this into the event deck. Okay, but it was successful. So the wood gets discarded. My pawn gets returned, and we now have a roof level of 1. Roll for my next build action down here, the pot. Wound, success, and adventure. Construction. You take a break to strengthen the camp with vegetation. When it overgrows with grass, it will be even stronger. Shuffle into the event deck. When this comes up, +1 to the palisades if you have a shelter. Hey, this is a good one. Alright, that's exciting. Okay, but I do get a wound, and I am successful. So I get my pawn back, and then the pot goes from the invention side to the item side. So now I have a pot. Which means, during the night phase, 1 wound. I can use 1 food to heal 1 wound during each night phase. That's going to be good, because usually what happens in this game is I end up killing my characters. Alright, so then we move on to explore. So this gets explored. Now, I do have the question mark, but Friday doesn't actually go on adventures. When he rolls a question mark, he instead just gets a wound. So we're going to activate this question mark, and it gives Friday a wound. And we found our river with 1 discovery token. Alright, this. So then you check down here. This is called Pirate Saber, and it gives me +1 weapon level. It's in the future resources though. Okay, action phase is over. Future resources become available. I use it. Now, my weapon level is 2. Now the weather phase. Okay, now we actually do weather. So we said we just rolled the orange die. So the orange die has mostly rain clouds on it, 1 or 2 rain clouds, and it has a snow cloud. So we'll see what we get. 1 rain cloud. Okay, so what happens on the rain clouds is, okay, for each snow cloud, discard a wood. We didn't roll any. Okay, compare the roof level to the sum of clouds, both rain and snow combined. For each roof level missing, discard 1 food and 1 wood. Okay, so we have 1 cloud, but we have a roof level of 1, so we're good. If we had a roof level of 0, if I hadn't built that roof, we would have 1 cloud more than our roof level, which would mean we have to discard 1 food and 1 wood. But we don't have a wood, so we would have had to discard our food, and we would have had to take a wound for not having the wood. And then we wouldn't have any food to eat, so we would take 2 wounds for going hungry. So this is really good that we built that roof. Okay, night phase. Do we want to move the camp? No, we have to eat. Alright, there's a banana. And do we have shelter? Yes. Moving on to round 5. Now don't forget, I have to build this wood pile. It seems like I'm really falling behind. I'm just so focused on staying alive. And I totally forgot to use my hammer and nails. That gives me support guys for building. Alright, I'm going to start doing that. So round 5, let's draw an event. Oh, our swollen arm. You've got an infection and you can't work today. If you don't have medicine, the character with the special wound on their arm has only 1 pawn available this round. Discard the special wound and draw another card. Okay, so this is gone, but I only get one pawn. Draw the next event. Catastrophe. In the night, a hurricane visited the island. Alright, we get the brown question mark. Put all items in the future resources space. They are not available this round. Place them back on the board after the action phase. Okay, the pot and the rope. We can't use those. So, for example, the mast requires rope. I wouldn't be able to build the mast because that item is in the future resources until after the action phase. And then this goes down here and pushes off this card, which now triggers its threat action. Each player gets 1 wound and discard the greater danger token. So I take a wound, getting dangerously close. Like I said, I usually kill my characters and discard the greater danger. Now morale, it magically goes up. I'm definitely going to heal a wound. Production, I get a food and a wood. Now remember, I've got 3 determination tokens right here. I can't use the pot to increase morale or the weapon level, unfortunately. And I could kill the goat if I want to get another food. Actually, yeah, let's do that. I'm going to kill the goat. So that gives me 1 fur and 1 food. The fur is going to help me build. Ooh, I don't have the shovel, so I can't do this. And this... yeah. I need a worker and a shovel to discard this card and get a determination token. I'm not going to be able to do that, which means next round my palisade level is going to go down. Really stinks. Alright, moving on to the action phase. I could put wood on the wood pile, but I think I'm going to use it to build the hatchet instead. Don't forget, I did find the river, so now I can build the map. Yeah, oh, and don't forget, I have these extra guys. So I'm going to use my hammer and nails to get an extra support worker that's only good for building, and they're going to build the map. And then Friday is going to take the dog hunting. This is probably going to kill Friday, but it should give me some good rewards. Actually, he's not going to do that because it's probably going to give me food, and I already have enough food for this round. I've got plenty of food. So he's just going to gather wood, which means the dog can only help with exploring or hunting. No one's exploring or hunting, so he's not getting used this round. Alright, so walking through, first happens the build. It's successful because I got 2 guys out here on it. Ooh, but I forgot to put the brown question mark was supposed to be there. So I do have to go on an adventure. Hungry Predator. While you are working, a hungry beast visits your camp. Decide, get 2 wounds, 2 food, 1 fur, and discard this card, or discard 1 food and lose a palisade and shuffle into the event deck. And when it comes up, you have to fight a beast. With the second one, I really can't afford to get 2 wounds, so I'm going to discard a food and -1 palisades and shuffle into the event deck. I've got the map, which really does nothing for me. It gets me an extra explorer support guy, but since my camp is here, I'm probably not doing any exploring. I mean, I could actually explore out here. It would just cost me an extra pawn. All right, and then next up is gather. There's only 1 guy here, so he does have to roll for it. He's successful, and he gets a question mark, which for Friday is a wound. So he gathered a piece of wood. And that's it. So now these become available again. They're open the pot, and I can use the pot. I'm going to use the pot now to get this poison plus 2 weapon level. All right, weather. We're just on the orange die. 1 snow cloud. Don't forget though, my old clothes are here to turn 1 snow cloud into a rain cloud, which is perfect for right now. So then it's just 1 rain cloud, and I do have a roof level of 1, so we're safe. Night phase, I'm not moving to camp. Okay, I'll eat. Okay, I have shelter. We're good to go. Moving on to round 6. Searching for a new path. After the hurricane, walking through the woods is extremely dangerous. Put reroll success in the explore action space. During the next explore, you must reroll one success result. Exploring new routes. It only takes one guy to discard this and get determination token. If I don't do that, then I'll have to put the question mark tokens in explore and gather. But for now, it pushes this off, which triggers the threat action, -1 palisades. But my palisade is already 0, so since I cannot do -1 palisade, I take a wound. Okay, morale, I get to heal a wound. Production, I get 1 food and 1 wood. Actions, I'm actually going to put 2 wood on the wood pile. Alright, so stage 2 of the wood pile is complete. And let's see, I've got the map, so now I can build the shortcut. That's what I really want to do. So yeah, I'm going to use hammer and nails again to get my extra dude to help me build the shortcut. And I'm going to use Friday to help me build the hatchet. Takes 1 wood to do that. So the dog's again doing nothing. So all I'm doing is building, and they're both automatically successful. So here we go, I build the shortcut, which says put the shortcut token on any tile adjacent to your camp. During the production phase, you get 1 chosen resource available on that tile. So the shortcut becomes an item up here on the item board, and I'm going to put the shortcut token right here because it's got both wood and food. And I'm definitely going to be using it for wood so I can help get this wood pile going. And then the hatchet is successful also. So that cost me that 1 wood, but now I have the hatchet, which gives me extra wood production on the camp tile. Okay, weather, again, we're just on the orange die. I still only have a roof level of 1, so hopefully, yes, only 1 cloud. Okay, so we're good. And night, I have to eat. And that's it. Moving on to round 7. Now we're doing all 3 weather dice. That is going to hurt. Alright, strong event. Poisoning. Everyone eats poisonous fruits and feels sick. Perhaps you can use them for something. Each player gets a wound. I need the knife in order to discard this and get a determination and increase weapon level. If I don't, then each player gets a wound. Alright. So this one just fell off. So the threat action, if possible, discard 1 item and cancel its effect. I have items, so I need to discard 1. The map. Because my shortcut's already built, so I don't need the map anymore because it was giving me an extra support guy for explore, but I'm done exploring. But I really need to focus on this wood pile. But look, right now, here we go. This is where, okay, so morale, I'm going to heal a wound. And production. This is where we're good. We get 1 food, 2 wood, plus a wood from the shortcut. So we get 3 wood and 1 food. So I'm going to take Friday. No, I'm not, okay, Friday and the dog. Friday and the dog are going to go hunting. It's probably going to kill Friday. So that's too bad. But I just want to use the dog. Okay. So I'm going to build a roof. I'm going to try to build a roof with a fur. Alright, that's all I'm doing. No, I need the fur for the mast. I should get a fur on the hunt. Okay. That's what we're doing. Okay, so the hunt is going to happen first. And a hunt always requires 2 workers. You can't do just 1. Alright, we got birds. Oh, this is not good. 1, so we beat them. Our weapon level is 4. We don't decrease our weapon level any, so that's good. We get 2 food and no fur. I was really trying to get some fur. That's too bad. So all that happens is we get 2 food. One of those is going to spoil tonight. 1, I'll get to use my pot to heal a wound. So I get something from it. Alright, and then we build the roof level 1. But now we don't have any fur. We need that fur for the mast. Alright, weather, we have to roll all 3. Ooh, not good, not good. Okay, so first you check how many snow clouds you have. I have 2, but one of them turns into a rain cloud. So I only have 1 snow cloud. And so for each snow cloud, which is 1, discard 1 wood. Okay, so I discard a wood. Now, compare the roof level to the total number of clouds. It still counts as a cloud, so I have 3 clouds, and my roof level is 2, so I'm short 1. So I have to discard 1 food and 1 wood. And now also this, the crossed up banana, means discard 1 food. Alright, it looks like that hunt actually really paid off. Alright, so that's it. Now the night phase. So I have to eat, and I have shelter. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use this to get 3 determination tokens, and I'm going to use my 3 determination tokens to do scouting, where I get to draw 2 discovery tokens, keep 1 and discard the other. Perfect. I'm going to get that goat. And I'm going to go ahead and kill the goat to get a fur and a food. I really needed a fur. That was actually perfect. Okay. Oh boy. Epidemic. Each player gets a wound, draw another card. Okay. Revisit. The hungry predator visits you again. Fight a beast. 3. My weapon level is 4, so we beat him. I don't have to decrease my weapon level. I get a food, a fur, and -1 palisades, and draw another card. Okay, so I can get a food and a fur. I don't have any palisade level to decrease, so I have to take a wound and draw another card. Bear. A bear finds your camp and destroys it. Put a black marker in the arranged camp action space. During the next arranged camp action, you must discard that black marker instead of getting the usual benefit of the action. Repair takes a worker and a shovel. You get to discard this card and get a determination token. If you don't, you decrease morale, and each player discards a determination token. Okay. So I'm going to put a black marker in the arranged camp space, and that'll stay there until someone tries to arrange camp. So apparently I'm not going to use the arranged camp action. And this threat action happens where we put the green and gray adventure tokens out. Morale, I'm going to heal a wound. Definitely. Production, again, I get 3 wood and 1 food. I really wish I could have Friday Gather, but that question mark would give him a wound, which would kill him. Nothing. Oh, I forgot. I had 2. There should have been 2 beast cards, so I do have a beast in the hunt deck still. Alright, Friday's going to take the dog hunting again. And then what am I going to do with my guys? Build a mast. I need a rope, a wood. Alright, I'm going to build a mast. The wood and a fur, and you have to have the rope, which I do. And I'm also going to build a roof level. Okay, so first comes the hunt. Alligator. Weapon level is 6, mine's only 4, so the active player takes 2 wounds. It's Friday, so he's dead. And decrease weapon level by 2. Collect 3 food and 0 fur. Alright, that was not good. Well, we'll see. It might come in handy. It might come in handy during the weather phase. Decrease weapon level by 2. Yeah, not so good. Okay, so now my build actions. I'm going to build the mast first. Let's see how this goes. Alright, I took a wound and I was unsuccessful, but I get 2 determination tokens. So when you're unsuccessful, you actually get your resources returned to you instead of having them used up. That's kind of fun. And I get that wound. Now I'm going to try to build the roof. Oh wait, I was supposed to have 2 wood over here. No, a fur. I was supposed to have a fur over here to try to build the roof with. Okay. I am successful. I take a wound and an adventure. So I take a wound and an adventure. You need a bigger camp. You have so many belongings that the camp has become too small for you. Soon, you will need a bigger camp. Shuffle into the event deck. Now is the right time to make the camp bigger. Put extra wood on the shelter, roof, and palisade cost spaces. From now on, you must spend an extra wood to build them. Draw another card. Oh boy. Hopefully that doesn't come up. That would be painful. Okay, so this fur gets returned, and my roof level increases to 3. End of the actions phase. Weather, I have to roll all 3 dice. Ooh. Okay. I got no snow. 4 rain clouds. Compare that to move level 3. I'm missing 1, so I have to discard 1 wood and 1 food. And palisades decreased by 1, but I don't have any, so I have to take a wound. Only 2 wounds away from dying. Okay. And then I have to eat. And then I can use my pot to heal a wound with a food. And then all the rest of the food goes bad. Moving on to round 9. Night attack. Each player gets a wound. If possible, look at the top card of the hunting deck. Okay, it had the green, but it's already out, so nothing happens. Each player gets a wound, and there is no hunt deck, so we don't look at anything. It gets added to here. So this threat action happens, each player gets a wound. Decrease morale by 1. Oh boy. I'm only 1 wound away from dying. Alright, but now the morale phase, I get to increase it, now I get to heal a wound. Production, again I get 3 wood and 1 food. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick 3 wood. Alright, 3 wood on the wood pile. Actions. Fred is dead. All I have are these 2, because I'm not exploring or hunting, so I'm not using the dog. I'm gonna build the knife in case the beast attacks, and the fire because I need it to win the game. So I'm gonna roll first for the fire. Success, wound, adventure. Take a wound, morale goes down. Adventure. Visit of a predator. When you are working, your camp is visited by a predator. It eats your food and escapes. Discard 1 food, shuffle into the event deck. Okay. I'm out of food, but don't worry, I still have the biscuits that I haven't touched yet. So that's not going to kill me. And success, so I do have fire now, which is one of the requirements for the scenario. Alright, now roll for the knife. Alright, 2 determination, no wound, no adventure. So I'm not successful. Alright, that's the end of the actions. Weather phase, this might get me. Oh boy. Okay, this turns into a snow cloud. Look, I have 2 biscuits, so I can trade those in for 2 non-perishable foods. So these actually don't go bad during the night. But now, 2 clouds, compare that to my roof level. Oh no, I'm good. I have roof level 3, so I'm good. I don't have to discard anything. I do have to discard 1 food. And that's the end of that. Now the night phase, I have to eat. Alright, so I'm still good. Still good. Okay, move on. Round 10. Oh man. What is this? Oh, +1 palisades. This is the good one. The grass and bushes make the palisades stronger. Excellent. Draw another card. Okay. We have to put extra wood on shelter, roof, and palisade. From now on, those cost 1 extra wood to build. Might just not build any. But you can still build those with fur, for 1 fur. It only costs an extra wood if you're using wood for the building costs. And I do have a fur, but I'm trying to use the fur to build a mast. Now, I still have to draw an event. Heavy rain is coming. Dark clouds are gathering. It is going to rain, and it will be heavy rain. Great question mark, it's already out there. Put a rain cloud token in the weather space. And again, when this falls off, because I don't have the shovel. So now this threat action happens, but it's just decreased morale, and each player discards a determination token. I can handle that. Decrease morale, discard a determination, rain cloud in the weather space. Okay, now the morale phase. Actually, I'm going to use my pot to increase morale. Because I'm solo, I'm happy to be alive, I increase morale. And so now I can choose to heal a wound. Production, 3 wood and 1 food. So I have 6 wood. I might actually make it. If I can survive this round, okay, I'm gonna put 4 wood here. So on the next turn, I just have to put 2 wood here and build the mast. And I have the fur. I might make it. I just might make it. Okay. So for my actions for this round, I can't build the mast because you can only do 1 stage of the woodpile per turn. So I've already done this stage. So I'm maxed out on the woodpile. So what I can do, nope. I want to build a roof level now, but I can't because I only have 2 wood and it costs an extra wood. And I don't want to spend the fur because I need the fur to build the mast on the next round. Well, actually I could, and then I would get 3 wood from production, which would give me 5 total, but I'm probably going to lose some on the weather. Well, I don't know, I'll have a roof level of 4, so I might not lose any on the weather. Alright, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to double up to make it auto success, and I'm going to spend my fur. Alright, I'm going to spend my fur. So yeah, that's all I'm doing for my actions. Spending a fur to increase the roof level. So now roof level is 4. And now we do the weather phase. And I have 1 rain cloud to start with. And I get, first off, one of these becomes a rain cloud. So I have 1 snow cloud, which means I have to discard 1 wood. And then I have 3 clouds total. Compare that to my roof level, so I'm good because my roof level is 4, which is more than 3. Decrease palisades by 1, so it goes from 1 to 0. Oh wait, sorry, I have 4 clouds total, but my roof level is 4, so I'm good. Okay, so I did lose a wood, so I have to figure out how to get a wood. I'm just gonna have to do a gather action, so I'm gonna have to roll for it. Oh no, I'm not, because I have 2 workers, and I'm not relying on the mast. Yeah. I think I might make it. Okay. I'm not moving the camp. I eat a food. I have shelter. Next round. Round 11. Draw an event. Ooh, this might kill me. Night visit. The predator thinks that your camp is a source of free food. Put the predator die on the weather space during the weather phase this round. Roll the predator die and resolve its effect. Draw another card. Okay, no big deal because I was actually already going to do that because it was just part of the weather required for the round. Now, an event. Memories of the cruise. You spend the night talking about your ship, your shipmates, and your future here on this dangerous island. Decrease morale by 1 and put the brown adventure token out. This threat action triggers, which is, if possible, discard the top card from the hunting deck. There's no hunting deck, so no big deal. No harm, no foul. Because it says if possible. When it says if possible, that means it's okay if you're not able to do it. If it tells you to do something and you can't do it, then you usually have to take a wound. Alright, so all I had to do was decrease morale, but now morale phase, I get to increase morale because I'm solo and happy to be alive, and I'm going to choose to heal a wound. I still have 3 determination, which I can use to get a discovery token. I'm going to do that. See what I come up with. I can get a guy to help me build or a treasure card. I don't want to build anything. I guess I'll take the treasure card. Alright, now go ahead and spend it now to draw a treasure card. I got Crocs. You find an old basket with some clay pots in it. Build the pot invention for free and without using an action. Oh, I already have the pot, so that's worthless. Production phase, I get 3 wood and 1 food. Again, that 3 wood is 1 from my island tile plus the extra wood, and then my shortcut gets me a resource from over here, and I'm choosing to take the wood. And then I get 1 food from my island, from my camp tile. So for actions, oh no. Okay, you can only add wood to the wood pile at the beginning of the action phase, and I only have 4 and I need 5. It's not that bad though because I have another round to try to do it. All I have to do is survive this round. So what can I do to help me survive? Would I collect more wood? Increase the palisades? Actually, my health isn't doing too bad. I think I'm gonna go gather food. with a guaranteed success. But I still have to take an adventure. Alright. So I'm going to do that. Twisted ankle. I knew I shouldn't have gone out. Suddenly you have fallen into a burrow. Put the special wound on your character's leg, shuffle into the event deck. And when it comes up, the character can only do certain actions. And it's successful, so I get a food. I can use that food to help with the weather, or if I don't need it for that, I can use it to heal a wound with my pot. So weather phase. Sweet. Alright, I got one snow cloud, because one of those turns into a rain cloud because of my old clothes. So I have to discard a wood. You have to discard a wood for every snow cloud, because you're burning wood to stay warm in the snow. Now count the total number of clouds, that's 3. Compare that to your roof level of 4. My roof level is higher than the number of clouds, so I'm safe. And then the beast die had nothing. I made it. Alright, night phase, I have to eat. I'm going to use my extra food to heal a wound. Okay, now, event. Round 12. Depression. You feel very pessimistic about your future. Discard 2 invention cards. Each player discards 1 determination token. Okay, so the invention cards means things that you haven't invented yet, so I'm not planning on building anything, so it doesn't matter really what I pick. I'm just going to throw 2 off. And then this threat effect, put the rain token in the weather space. Probably, I'm not planning on getting to the weather. If I get to the weather phase, I've already lost. Because if I don't finish the wood pile this round, which I have to do at the beginning of the action phase, then the game's over because I failed to do it in the allotted number of rounds. Morale, I choose to heal a wound. And actions. Oh wait, the production phase. 3 wood. Yep, look, there we go. 3 wood and 1 food. Now at the beginning of the action phase, I'm going to put 5 wood on the wood pile. And that's it. I finished my wood pile. I have the fire item. I've saved. I've flagged down the ship. You have to be in round 10, 11, or 12 as this ship is sailing by. You have to have your wood pile built and on fire, and I did. I'm done. I've beat the scenario. Yay! Alright guys, that's me playing Robinson Crusoe. I won. That's never happened before. I'm guessing I cheated probably multiple times throughout that game. So if you caught where I made those mistakes, go ahead and point that out in the comments and feel free to just ridicule me mercilessly. It is harder for me to keep all the rules straight and play it properly while I'm filming. So this game actually has a very good reputation, especially among the solo gaming community. For me, honestly, not really my favorite. I think it's the number of components. There's just so many different tokens and so much overhead. A lot of accounting and bookkeeping just with moving the tokens around compared to the amount of playing and decision making that you actually get to do. But more importantly than that, for me, the game is too hard, honestly. I do feel pretty accomplished for finally winning if I actually properly did it, which I'm really betting that I cheated on accident a lot. Because I've never beat this game. I really wanted to beat it before I made the video, so I played it over and over and over, and I got so tired of just playing this Castaway scenario. And I may move on and just try some other scenarios just to see how they are, but the rulebook tells you that Castaways is the easiest scenario, and it's going to get harder if you try any other ones. But it's hard, it's too hard. I never beat it before. And it's okay for a game to be hard, it really is, but for scenario 1, the easy scenario in the box, for me to just not beat that over and over and over and over again is really frustrating. And it feels like there's a bunch more of the game that I can't even get to because I can't pass level 1. So it'd be really cool if they had an easier scenario to start with, or if the overall difficulty of the game got reduced a little bit. I have heard that it may be easier to just dual hand the 2-player game instead of actually playing the solo rules with the dog, because the dog doesn't really do a whole lot for you, and it might be better to have a second player instead of the dog. And you can do that yourself, you know, but I was trying to play with the solo rules as written, and that's just really important to me. I hate making up my own rules for games. Unfortunately for me, I'm gonna rate this game a 6 for the reasons I've given. There's just too many tokens, too much accounting with the tokens and moving them back and forth compared to for the amount of gameplay you get. And also, it's just too hard. It's clearly a good game though. It's very well thought out. They've done a lot to add replayability to the game. Like I mentioned during the playthrough, I love how some of the discovery tokens have symbols on them, and you have to check the scenario card to see what the effect of that symbol is in this scenario, because it means in other scenarios they're going to do different things. So they're able to reuse the same components and have them, and while still adding that variability. So I really appreciate that, and they did the same thing with the scenarios, with completely different goals on the other scenarios and completely different like special items you can build, you know. And then they've got the 5 random inventions that you set out during setup, and then the 2 random starting items. That helps add a little variability to the game. Now, when I was trying to beat it solo, when I kept losing over and over and over, I went through and I picked my starting items and my starting inventions and tried to give myself every advantage instead of doing that random setup, and I still couldn't beat it. So in this playthrough that you saw, I really finally figured out about how you want the shortcut. In all my previous games, I was playing as the carpenter, and he had a different unique character item. The shortcut really helped me increase that wood production, which is what you need to build the wood pile. Now, you are also supposed to deal out a random character at the beginning, so again, that makes it super hard. So instead of doing random, I just picked the explorer, and I was like, the shortcut seems like it'll make it easier now that I understand how it works. So let's do that. And then also exploring, drawing the island tiles. Because I had the explorer, I was able to find the river and put it out. Okay, when I was playing as the carpenter, I wasn't able to do that. And I've had games where I just explore because I have to get, to build a fire, I have to get mountains, and I was just never finding mountains. They just happened to be at the bottom of the deck. So I had to explore the whole island, never find any mountains, you know, and by the time I find mountains, it's like I'm dying from the weather because my camp hasn't been built up at all, because I've just been trying to find mountains because I have to get fire to light the wood pile. And I mean, that's life, you know. Sometimes when you're a castaway on a deserted island, things don't go your way and you just die. But in this game, in my opinion, for my enjoyment of the game, it just happens too much. So a lot of people do love this game. I think probably most of the other reviews you'll find rate this game way higher than I am, so go ahead and check those out if you found the gameplay interesting. It's certainly a good game, just not going to be one of my favorites. I'll see you next time.